And we're on Skype, so I don't understand. Darn it. Five seconds.
So scary.
What? Here we go. Here we go. Oh, wait. Here we go. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, no matter where you are in the world. I want to welcome you in to the Just Rita Real Talk live radio show, now on Blog Talk Radio. Oh my gosh, I'm hearing my, oh my gosh, I'm hearing myself. Okay, hold on one second. We got to figure this out now.
That's going to be so confusing.
Okay, hold on one second. All right, you guys, this is so much fun. We have got Niki Witczak, who is in the house. And let me tell you, we are doing this for the first time. And we are by ourselves. It's going to be amazing. And so now I just have to turn off my volumes for the show so that we can just hear ourselves and then participate. So now we can take off our things because we don't have to have that until later on when the Blog Talk Radio lets us know that we're almost done. So, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited to have you here. I'm like trying to figure all this stuff. There you are, Felicia, Rebecca. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're here. We're trying to get this all figured out. And it's so funny because I was up till like 1:30 in the morning doing practice runs, trying to work out bugs, trying to see if this is all going to like work out really well. And it is. It's just I have to get used to being a one-man band. You know what I mean?
3 o'clock in the mornings.
No, 1:30. 1:30.
1:30. Okay.
1:30. But still, it's like so much fun because I love this show. And to be quite honest, it's amazing how when you really want something, and this is what our show is about today. So I didn't even know how we were going to start the show, but here it is, right? It comes from above and out my mouth, and it's all brilliant. So it's all about passion. And I've got to make sure I don't like tap because the microphone picks up everything. But it's all about passion. And if you're really passionate about something, it's something that you will figure out no matter what. And if there's bugs, it doesn't matter. It's going to work out beautifully anyway. And that is what we're doing. So we have got, oh my gosh, Niki Witczak in the house. I am so excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. And let me tell you, I love sharing people with the audience all the time because there are so many extraordinary people out there and there's so many stories to tell. There really isn't enough days in our lifetime to have somebody there and show them, you know, that there's options, there's things going on, people have their passions. And when you and I met, so I met Niki through a chamber mixer. Actually, it's called the Scramble, which is in McHenry. Oh my gosh, Cindy, there you are. I am trying to figure all this stuff out, Cindy, so please bear with me. You are absolutely amazing. Cindy's got your stuff that is out there on Facebook Live. So with the show, I know I'm backtracking,
It's okay.
right? So I got to like calm down. All right. Ah, there we go. Okay, so we're doing Facebook Live and the Blog Talk Radio because I love Facebook Live at the same time. It'd be good if you're listening to both because you get to see what's going on, interaction, how it all works. That way, when you want to be on the show, you can see how fun and exciting it is. It's very easy to do. Also, thank you for the love. Also, on Blog Talk Radio, we are able to do our show on Thursdays from 7 to 9, which I think is absolutely amazing. I love WGOG digital broadcasting, first and foremost. So I want to give a shout out to Ariel, Grace, and Todd Bates, who are absolutely amazing, extraordinary people. And I really want them to know how much I love them and appreciate them and how much I've learned from them, first of all. I worked with Todd and Ariel when they were at the Stream, 247 The Stream. That's when I found them almost 3 years ago, and I started my own show. And then Todd went to Clearwater, Florida. He sold his station, and then he started up WGOG Digital Broadcasting, which, again, is another great platform, radio station, where, you know, we're able to do the talk radio and get ourselves out there. Their schedules have changed. Mine has changed. And we couldn't find a easy medium where we can, you know, do it all and be easy for all of us. So I had to pull out. And then lo and behold, I found Blog Talk Radio and I was able to figure this out somewhat. And hopefully as time goes by, it's going to get better and better. But, you know, I learned so much from Ariel and Todd, and I'm forever grateful because now I'm able to do this as well and keep the show at the same time because I do have so many followers, and it's hard when you shift gears and, you know, try to reestablish and figure out that kind of thing. So I'm just forever grateful for them, and I really wanted to start out the show saying thank you, Todd and Ariel. You're absolutely amazing. Everybody keep listening to WGOG Digital Broadcasting, but definitely on Thursdays, you should be listening to me. First and foremost, right? The other thing that's exciting about this with Blog Talk Radio is that I can have my show, yes, on Thursdays, which I'm always going to do, but I can also do different things throughout the week, different times of the day, that kind of stuff. So that it's just sky's the limit. Mm-hmm. And so opportunity there is just absolutely amazing. So I'm very excited. Okay, now backtrack. Niki, oh my gosh. So we're in McHenry, Illinois, and so we are now a part of the chamber. Mm-hmm. I am now a part of the chamber. I just signed on yesterday, so I'm so excited. Really? Yes. Yay. And I just got my invitation to get my stuff all set up on the computer.
You got to come to our MC group.
I will. I will definitely do that. Yeah. So, Niki, we went to the Scramble, and a Scramble is where there's probably like 250 to 300 people at this event. There's different tables, and you literally have, 15, 20 minutes?
It's company speed dating.
Yeah, company speed dating, which is a lot of fun. So you go from table to table, and it's all organized, obviously. Otherwise, it would be chaos. So with that being said, you know, we didn't actually get to meet that day, but apparently I looked happy that day. So then Niki's like, oh my God, I got to meet that girl. So we met at a Starbucks which was going to be like maybe an hour visit, and it turned out to 3 hours. 3 hours. So any date with me is never short. It's always fun. A long date, and it was so much fun talking about so many different things. And I really got to know who Niki is, and I think she's an extraordinary woman with an awesome story. And I know I'm going to get teary-eyed. Whoa! I don't want to do that yet. And she has such a beautiful story. She is a Mary Kay lady, so she really helps people with their image, and that has turned into her absolute passion. And we're going to talk about that. And then I'll tell you, you'll tell them more about, you know, your company, all that kind of thing, towards the end. But it's really, the conversation's really all about passion. And so with that being said, starting this show, from nothing, just with an idea of, I think I can do it, and then putting my nose to the grindstone and making it happen and figuring it out. I'm like really proud of myself, to be quite honest. So to be absolutely here, I miss Todd because Todd was my producer, as well as I forced him to talk to me during the show, doing the bantering back and forth. So I would, and teasing him and that kind of stuff. So he definitely is a missing, but I'll tell you, it's so much fun to have it and participate this way. And, you never want to, not give credit where credit is due. Mm-hmm. And I'm a firm believer that if you are giving credit where credit is due, that everything's going to come to you, twofold, bifold, allfold, whatever it is. Because I learned a lot from them, and they really do deserve that acknowledgement and recognition, because I really did appreciate who they are, for sure. So that's what we're going to be doing. So you can go to www.justritarealtalk.com. Nikki's information is there. Her picture is on there. You can click on her picture. You can go right to her website, as well as click on the Blog Talk Radio picture, and it will take you right to the show. We did that, and we were hearing ourselves. So then I'm like, I can't do that dual function. I got to figure that out again. So, and there's no commercials with this one too. So it's like we literally are here, no commercials. We're playing. We're going to have fun, talk about a lot of different things. You can also call in. If you guys want to call in, you are more than welcome to. That's when we will turn on the headphones. And my little thing will tell us what we're doing. And the number is to call in is 347-989-8086. Again, that number is 347-989-8086. Did I say 46 before? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm dyslexic. I'll just say something and then I have no idea. But I can put this on there to call in. And I'm sure my microphone is picking up my typing, because it did last night. So there's so many things. Like last night I was having an allergy problem when I was doing my practice run. And you can hear like the sniffing and all that kind of stuff. I was just like, what? So normally how I start the show is good morning, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I like to welcome you all in to the Just Rita Real Talk live radio show at www.justritarealtalk.com. And now we are here at Blog Talk Radio. And we have got Niki Witczak in the office, in the, I don't know, what would you call the studio? Here at the house. I'm so excited. And it's just going to be like a fun time. So I'm really excited to have you. And I always like to start out like, what's been going on? What happened this week? Anything exciting for you? Something had to happen exciting.
We went to the beach.
You went to the beach.
We went to the beach. I left my MC meeting, and I left the MC meeting, and I said, I got to go to the beach. So I already had the kids, had their suits on and everything. I went, picked up the tribe, and we head up to Silver Lake Beach. Silver Lake Beach?
Oh my gosh, it's perfect because it's shallow and it goes out and it's super shallow, like way out there.
Where's that at?
It's up north. It's about...
Is it in Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's just over the border.
I know where that's at.
It's about 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, it's super nice because the kids can just go.
Yeah.
And you don't have to worry about them like drowning, and you can stay on the beach, and you have to like yell for them to come in because they were so far out there, but it was still super shallow.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Beach.
You know, I love going to the beach. I love water. I love swimming. All those fun things. I really do. It's like so much fun, and I haven't been to the beach in a long time. It's been a long time since I've put a real suit on.
Me
too. A bathing suit.
I went in my capris.
Oh, you did?
I did.
I'm just not interested in exposing everybody to what I got going on.
Me neither. I'm with you 100%.
So, and you know, it's like I was at the store earlier today before I came home, and I was looking at the clothes, and I was looking at, you know, the swimsuits and looking at how cute they are, and I'm just like, oh my God, if I had the body for it. But I don't. I definitely
I don't care really. I don't care about my butt and my stomach. My problem is my armpits.
Your armpits.
My armpits. There's extra stuff in the armpits, so it flops over everything, and you've got to tuck it, and then it makes its way out, and you're just like, forget about it. I can't expose anybody to that. But I was walking through there. I'm like, oh, if only I didn't have the armpit problem.
I have a top problem. Because I nursed my little guy. He's 16 months old now. And he's just now coming off. But I was never successful with the other two. So I never had this issue. But now, like, I can't find a suit that just, like, keeps me...
All tucked in?
Keeps me in. Yeah. I feel like I'm constantly, like, adjusting myself.
Oh, because they're bigger?
No, because they're just... I don't know. They were bigger, and then they're smaller, and then they're not.
Oh, my gosh. Mine are just, like big.
I just don't...
Yeah.
I don't know them. We have to get reacquainted, I guess.
I know mine. And mine are just like do whatever they want all the time. And they just are just big.
Free spirit.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. Sometimes I do free spirit. Nobody knows about it. Honest to God. I did free spirit when I was at I was free in my dress. I have a really beautiful, colorful spaghetti strap. It's like, I call it my fat dress. It's like when I'm my biggest, I put on that dress because nobody knows what's going on. I won't have a bra on or anything. Nobody can see it. And of course, I have the jean jacket. I'm good to go. And Dawn is out there. Hey!
I need a dress like that.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. And so then you just feel flowy. And then I had on a zebra dress yesterday. Nobody knew. Because then, of course, you got the jean jacket on over it. You're good to go. So I do have a bra on today, though, because this is kind of like Sharon. I had to go to the doctor's office, so he doesn't need to see that.
My mom's really into all the animal crazy prints, too. I can't
I just like, you know what? I just like the zebra print. I have a lot of zebra. I used to be in a home-based business where everything was black, green, and bling for me. And that's where I found my inner diva. And so that's where I was like, what? Opened up my whole world. And now I'm not with that company anymore. I'm doing my own thing because this is what my passion is. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you know what? I love it. Yeah. I love being that person who's expressive. I like to be as shiny as possible. All of it. So, yeah, it's so much fun. I love it. Honest to God.
Hence the green office.
Exactly. So you guys did you get burned or?
We went last weekend.
Yeah.
And I got burnt, and the poor little boy that we were with, we went with friends of ours, and my son's best friend, he's got red hair and that super, super light skin with the freckles.
Oh, yes.
That poor boy, his mom kept putting the sunscreen on him, and he was a flippin' lobster.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
Oh, the poor kid. Yeah.
Aww.
And then yesterday we went with the same people, and he didn't want to put a shirt on, because, he's a 5-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Nah.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, super burned. Never seen anyone so burnt in my life.
I
felt so bad.
Oh my gosh, talk about burning like that. I have gotten many Mother of the Year awards for my negligence in parenting properly. And one of them was, I'm not kidding you, it's so bad. I am all about training the skin, right? And the more you're in the sun, the more you expose yourself, I feel like your skin kind of gets trained. Well, I've always been a tanning person type gal. I've always done stuff like that. And that's just something that I love to do. And my son, he was younger. I don't know, 6th, 7th grade. I think it probably was more 6th grade than anything. And so we went on a boat. Yeah, there was 2 incidences. I could be a horrible mother, but 2 incidences where one was on a boat where he got pretty burnt and he was throwing up and sick because he had sun poisoning. Mm-hmm. And then there was another time, the worst time was when we were at a friend's house. He was playing in the pool and I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't really sunny outside. It wasn't. And he got burned so bad, he literally had 2nd-degree burns.
Oh my gosh.
So it was those big, disgusting blisteries.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. That kid cried.
They say overcast days are like
the worst
for sunburn.
And I had no idea.
No.
So, I mean, I've never had children before. I've never burned like that before. I've never had any experience. I mean, when he was little, I always put sunscreen on him. But then still, they talk about that sunscreen is worse because it's chemicals in the kid's skin. It's baking in. So I'm like, well, maybe that's not good. But, oh my gosh, it was.
That sounds terrible.
It was terrible. He cried literally for like almost 2 weeks.
What'd you put on him after?
A
bunch of aloe and.
Oh my gosh,
or
we
just
had
your skin will be fine.
We had, oh my gosh, we had aloe on him. We had solar cane on him. We had, I mean, everything and anything. Like you couldn't even touch it. He couldn't even eat. He cried. He didn't sleep that night. Oh my God, that was like. I've got so many stories. Like, literally, when I have grandchildren, I'll know exactly what to do.
Well, Mary Kay has this after sun replenishing gel. And you put it on the burn, and it takes all the sting out, and it takes the redness down.
Oh, you're kidding.
So my burn's good. I'm good now.
Yeah.
But this poor little boy was not so lucky.
Oh, my gosh. It was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
So when you have grandkids, call me.
Right? I know, right? I'd be like... We're nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. But still, I mean, Frankie's 25 now. So it's been many a moon since that happened. But still, it's like, holy cow, you just don't even realize it all the time. Mm-mm. So that was crazy. So what else? Nothing else exciting happened?
Not really.
No?
No.
Oh, my gosh.
Same old everyday. Met with a couple people, had coffee. Lots of coffee. I love coffee.
Oh my gosh.
I'm always up for a good cup of coffee.
See, there you go. I'm getting off the coffee. I'm off the coffee.
You're off coffee?
I'm off coffee.
How are you like, oh, yay.
Oh, because this is me. Like, people don't even realize it, and this is me tired.
Jeez.
But it's like, because
I don't like coffee.
Well, here's the thing, right? So last September... I found out, because I've got problems with my vision, that I've got what they call a pseudo tumor. So a pseudo tumor is where the fluid builds up in the brain, causes problems on the nerves, and it just causes problems.
Didn't you just go in for a thing?
Yeah, I did. So,
not just, I don't know.
No, it was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, so that, they had to put a stent in my brain to get the, things flowing. And which is fine, but things are still not 100%. I'm still struggling with a lot of different things. And, I got introduced to this, what we call brain mapping.
That's what I remember you saying you were going to do.
So brain mapping is where, and you know what? It's the funniest thing too. When I got exposed to it, there was a lady who was at my ladies' luncheon lead. She was there a couple of times, and she does it. And I was going to meet up with her, but things never quite worked out the way they needed to. And then on Long Island Medium, if anybody watches Teresa Caputo,
love that show.
She actually did the brain mapping while she was channeling.
Really?
Yes. So I was just like, holy cow. And so I went to this Co-op Talk event. It's probably been about a month already now. And I got introduced to this chiropractor, Dr. Coop, and he does the brain mapping. And I was like, what?
All the stars aligned.
All the stars aligned. And so he was telling me all this stuff, and I was telling him about my situation, my surgery, my digestion problems, all those kinds of things. And so I made an appointment with him. So I did the brain mapping with him. And it turns out that my brain does not function at 100%. It does not function the way it's supposed to. It's not high functioning. It's actually low functioning. The left side is worse than the right side.
That's crazy how they can tell and they can
I know.
figure that out.
Yeah, and so
that's just crazy.
In general, my muscles are very, very tight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not flexible at all. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. And so what happened was, when he was telling me everything, there's like a band that goes over the top of your head on your brain. And he said, that is not doing well at all. and it affects all the muscles in your body. And I was like, what? So
it's like so beyond me. Like, how do you figure out that your brain is controlling your,
it's
I
amazing.
know your brain controls everything.
Right.
But if you like have the digestion problems and like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy.
Exactly. And so when I was telling him that I've always been extremely tight, even chiropractors hate adjusting me. Hey, Carrie, because my body doesn't move the way it's supposed to. And he's like, that's because of this area on the top of your head. The muscles are extremely tight. It's hard for anything to move. And that's because of what's going on with your brain. So I was like, holy cow, you've got to be kidding me. And he's like, the left side is worse than the right side. And so he's talking to me about it more and more.
You're talking about your eyes.
Yeah. And so, well, the right side is worse than the left side because I actually have a blind spot in the right side. But when I was talking to him about it, what I found out when I had my surgery was my veins in my brain on the left side did not develop at 100%. So I've got baby veins on the left side and crinkly old squished veins on the right side. So I was like, oh my gosh, I've never been operating properly. Hey, there's Ray and Debbie. Hey, you guys. So what's going on is the left side of the brain is not getting all the nutrition that it needs. So the left side is worse than the right side and everything, the way it's all working.
So how do you fix that?
So what he does is, I had my first treatment today, which, by the way, I almost fell asleep in because it was so intense that my brain was like, oh my God, get me out of here. And you had to keep your eyes open the whole time. So I had to get, put all the leads on again on my ears and on my head. And then I had my glasses on, and you put these other glasses on over, which has, the flashing lights, which is a particular type of frequency.
Oh my gosh.
And then you have the headphones on because you have to have sound and sight. And then you watch a show on the computer. And so when you're watching this, your brain normally will stay focused the whole time and just stay, most people's brains, right? Mine goes off, always wants to go somewhere else and do something else. But then when you take away the sound and the vision, then it brings it right back to like, hey, I wasn't done with that. What are you doing? Huh. And so then it's teaching your brain, it's almost like rewiring your brain to focus and do what it needs to do. So it's a whole therapy that you do, and it's probably like 6 months long. I found out that a lot of your gut problems, if you have a lot of digestional problems, leaky gut, all that kind of stuff, your gut has a direct hit to your brain. So I've always had stuff that I've dealt with my whole life. A lot of different things.
But now
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. So now, hopefully, I won't be as crazy as I have been. Maybe, I can do all the things that I want to do. But that's a lot of, it's a lot of information, but it's amazing at the same time because
it's fascinating.
It is fascinating because there's things that you do. There's behaviors that you have. There's things that you want to shift and change, and you don't know why. It's like you hit a wall every time. Mm-hmm. And you're looking at it, you're like, well, what the heck is going on? Why can't I just get over this? Or why can't I do this? Or why can't I focus here? But, I'm like a squirrel. It's like here, 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 here all the time. Or there's something that I really want to do, and then this fear comes up, and then you stay stuck. Or a lot of people with the problems, too, have PTSD. So if you have a background where you have been through a lot of trauma, you've got PTSD and your brain operates that way, but you can rewire all that stuff. It helps with people who have dementia, Alzheimer's, all that kind of stuff. It really helps to MS, autoimmune system diseases. Cool. Unbelievable.
That's so neat.
Yeah, so that's the first thing, that's what I've been up to.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
A lot more exciting than mine is, but summer just started. Just give us
Summer
some time.
just started, though.
Give us some time.
But you know what, though? Even still, it's like, different things that go on. I learned that you should never break up a dog fight.
No?
No. Even if it's your own dogs.
Oh. I tried that once. I hurt myself.
I got bit. I got bit last Monday, and my hand swelled. Like, I had to go, like, 2 days later, I ended up going to the emergency room to get antibiotics and all that stuff.
gosh.
It was terrible because the infection went all the way down my arm. Yeah, my whole hand was in my dog's mouth because they were fighting. On Memorial Day, I was putting ribs in the slow cooker, and the dogs were in the kitchen, which now they don't go in the kitchen at all. They're done. And so they thought that when I was putting the meat in there that maybe I had dropped something because all of a sudden they went for whatever they thought they went for. It wasn't there, so one thought the other one took it. Huge fight. And my puppy, he's not even a puppy anymore. He's going to be 2 in July.
Oh, he's not a puppy.
Was on top of Shorty, the old one, who's like 15, 16 years old, and biting Shorty, and I was like, oh my God, my old man. But then on the other hand, Teddy's white, so I don't want to see blood all over a white dog. Yeah. Because it's very dramatic. And all I could see was Shorty, and I was like, oh my God. So I'm screaming, dog fight, dog fight. My son comes running up the stairs, grabs Shorty, trying to pull Shorty. I'm trying to pull Teddy. And then Shorty comes in and goes, chomps. Not on purpose, but chomped. And of course, I freak out.
Probably thought it was the other.
And I was like, oh my God, I got bit. I got bit by a dog.
Your own dog.
My own dog. And so it was crazy. But by Wednesday, I went to the emergency room because I couldn't even put my arm down. It hurt so bad.
Yeah.
And it swelled. Like you couldn't even see a hand. Now it's just like everything is healing really fast. Yikes. But he really punctured it. Yeah. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It was insane. And then, of course, I discovered that Illinois has chiggers.
You didn't know that?
No. I did not know that Illinois had chiggers. I never... You know what? I've probably had chiggers before, and I thought that they were mosquito bites, and I never, related it. Because the first time I was introduced to chiggers was in Missouri.
Really?
Yeah. When I started dating my husband, and he took my son and I to Missouri... And all of a sudden, we have, chiggers. These horrific bites. Yeah. And I was like, oh, my God, it's the worst ever. And so last weekend, we were at a graduation party. We were outside. No big deal. I've been in the backyard. And my feet and the back of my legs, my arms have these bites. And it's all around sandals. Yeah. The clothing. And I'm like, there's no way that I had all these mosquitoes on me and I had no idea. There's no way. Not even ants or spiders or anything.
Not that, no.
And so I did some research, and sure as shooting, there's chiggers in Illinois. And my husband's like, not in our backyard. I'm like, yeah, they just go everywhere else, but not our yard.
Your grass is totally different.
But I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I was thinking, because my girlfriend just mulched her entire yard, and the kids, her little grandchildren, were playing in the mulch, and I'm in the mulch trying to get it off of them. And I'm like, I bet you they were in there because mulch had gotten onto my feet because I had these, of course, adorable little sandals on. But you can just see oh my gosh.
And you never know where that mulch is.
So I literally look like I'm diseased in one way, shape, or form. And it's but it was miserable. I literally could not sleep at night for 2 days. I'm getting up in the middle of the night, putting oils on me, soaking my feet in vinegar. I put lavender on. I even put tea tree oil all over me, even though that stuff reeks. I was like, whatever. I couldn't get it. I couldn't handle it. And then a friend of mine, it's not in here. I got, it's called, slip my mouth, slip my tongue.
You know what else works is, it's Terra Shield by doTERRA. It's a bug repellent. Yeah. It helps for bug bites too.
Oh my gosh. So stuff like that. It's my kids. Oh my gosh. I'm telling you, it was terrible. Now I just have all these disgusting red scabs, and you're just like, oh my God, I honestly, I do not have pleurisy. I do not have because somebody even said to me well, do you have bed bugs? I'm like, no, I don't have bed bugs. but still, it looks, you never know.
Right.
I used to work at, I gave my time to a place in Chicago where we took care of the homeless and AIDS patients. And sometimes you would see on a chiropractic table a couple of bed bugs falling down. And you're like,
ew.
That's when I got introduced to bed bugs. Because they weren't cockroaches, but I was like, oh my God. And then, of course, they had the big outbreak. And I was like, oh my God.
Pleasure.
You wouldn't want it either. God. There's no pleasure about it.
No.
It just like makes you itch. And what they do is they just suck your blood.
I've never had the chiggers.
You've never had chiggers? Oh.
Never had bed bugs. I've never had a tick.
Oh my gosh.
Nope.
Ticks are terrible.
My daughter somehow gets them.
They're disgusting.
All the time.
Oh my God, they're disgusting.
At least once a summer she'll have a tick.
They're disgusting. So yeah, so that was my week. Last couple of weeks, really.
Your life is hectic.
I know.
Holy cow.
I know, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, so, and it's already 7:35. It just like flies by. Okay. All right, you guys. So here's the other thing too, because we don't have to go to break.
Yay!
We just get to play, right? It's what it's all about.
I tried to share the live feed. It didn't let me.
Oh, really?
That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, go ahead and share it.
I wasn't trying to be rude.
No, not at all.
It doesn't have a share option.
Trying to see like who is in there because
there it is.
Able to chat. You're able to do all kinds of wonderful things.
Cool. I'm sure.
Oh, there you are because you're showing it on my computer.
Yeah. I didn't see that before.
Yeah, you were able to share.
I'm like listening, but I'm like, wait a second, I can do this at the same time.
Yeah, and I'm not sure where Cindy went. So my little friend, who's my little moderator, who helps me out. But anyway, the other thing is I always like to do card readings. So I've always done that as well at the beginning of the show, because one of the things is I am spiritual, where I know that everything always comes from above. And we live our lives, and that's just the way I live my life. And so I'm all about psychics, mediums, angel card readings. I do a lot of angel card readings. I do energy healing, that kind of thing. And it's so much fun. So that's what we're doing.
Okay, let's do it.
So when I do the angel card reading, so I do it all the time on my show. What I do is I always think about, I have the intention of me, my guest, which is you, the guests, the listeners, anybody who is participating in the show. I always have it like in, my mind's eye. And then I ask the angels, with all of us in mind, what are the messages that we need today so that we can go on for the week. And it is so much fun. Oh, there you go, Cindy. She's there. I was curious what was going on. Because I just appreciate you so much, Cindy. So that's what I always do. And it's like the cards never lie.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ever. Hey, Cindy, can you let me know if you could hear us okay? Because I'm not sure if you are listening on the Blog Talk Radio as well as the Facebook Live, but I just was curious. All right, so card number 1. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
Okay, so the first card is miracles. Oh my gosh, you guys. And that is so true. It is miracles. And by the way, 4 cards jumped out today. So normally I do 3 cards, but 4 came out today. So we get 4. So miracles. This is to pay attention. There are things that are happening in your life right now. So like things that are coming together. So for instance, oh, Jason, how are you?
Oh, that's my fiance.
Aw, awesome.
Hi, babe.
Oh, Cindy is awesome. I love her. She's amazing. So miracles, that's what's going on. Everything happens around us. Things are never happening to us, even though sometimes we perceive it that way. That's not really what's happening. Things are happening for us, for our highest good. And usually later down the road, we figure it out, right? Mm-hmm. So like, for instance, for me, when Todd and I had the discussion, where we had to change the schedule for my show, it didn't work for me. And so the miracle for me was creating this Blog Talk Radio and making it all work. And everything that I'm doing, like with my health, everybody is coming into my life the way it's supposed to. the way my life is supposed to evolve so I can be at my highest and do the best thing that I could possibly do for myself. So you can look around your own self and see what is it that's happening around you right now where you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that's happening. Have you ever done like angel card readings or any of this before?
Done it once.
Okay.
So far, yeah. My kids are listening.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Aww. That's awesome. So that's something that you want to, just be mindful of what's going on. So just pay attention to whatever it is that you're working towards, what you've been working towards, the miracles are going to start happening around you. So just be very aware. And if they're coming, don't push them away. Make sure you're open to receive them. That's the biggest thing. You have to be open to receive those miracles. Otherwise, if you're doubting it in any way or you're waiting for the shoe to drop, then you're just pushing it further out away. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, good. So that's what's going on with miracles. So that's awesome. Miracles. Oh, miracles. Okay. Second one. Romance. There you go. Romance. That's a good card too. So miracles and romance. I love how they tell a story.
They do fit together.
They do fit together very well. And so romance, romance could be a new love coming to your life. Now, if you are, your friend Andrea says hello.
Hi, Andrea.
So if you already are in a relationship, you are probably going to have romance start coming back into your life.
You hear that, Jason? Do you hear that?
You're probably going to have romance coming back into your life. So that is something where, a lot of times when you're with somebody, things get to be the same, routine. And you just do your everyday life. You expect somebody to come home. You do this, you do that. Nobody really thinks about the romantic part anymore. Or maybe if you've been fighting a lot with your partner, something like that, that maybe something's going to shift and change and more romance is going to come in. If you're single, romance is coming. So there's somebody who you could be looking out for. There's somebody who you could be looking at and they're going to start paying more attention to you, or it could be a complete surprise. So those are things that you want to look at. And also romance could be also not only with a human being, but if you're starting a new career, if you're starting something or a passion of yours, because that's what our show is all about, that could be something too. But a lot of times with romance, it's really about, couples or, somebody, coming into your life. But here's the thing too. You have to love yourself. And once you really love yourself and you appreciate who you are, then you can allow other people to come into your life as well. I'm trying to wonder, what is that? I feel like something's counting down. Oh, there we go. It looked like it was counting down or something. Okay, so that's romance. So there you are. Miracles and romance, which work beautifully, because that could be the miracle, that you've got your knight in shining armor or your princess coming in, and things are going to shift and change for you, and everything's going to start coming up roses. You never know. All right, power. Power is another one. This is very good as well. You have to trust deep down inside of you that you have the power to achieve anything that you want. And that's the biggest thing. That's so many people live their lives feeling powerless. But if you know that you are completely supported on a spiritual side that you may not even realize, that you've got your angels, you have spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, they are all around you. And you have to dig deep into yourself to get that power out so that you can achieve whatever it is that you want. And once you are starting to hone in your power, again, the miracle is there, the romance is right next to it, and then you're feeling very powerful. When things are always coming through for your highest good, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It works that way. And when you start to see how things are starting to align, people then feel more confident to let that power out. It's like releasing the Kraken in a good way. You know what I mean? I love it. Does any of this make sense to you? Like anything like resonate with you? That things are happening for you?
A little bit.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. I love it. All right, and we got a treat, you guys, because we got four this time. New love.
What?
Oh my gosh, you guys. New love, which means that somebody is out there, is coming their way for you. I got to quit banging because it's really loud there. So that's the biggest thing. A new love. And again, a new love can be a person. A new love can be, like a career, a job, a hobby.
It could be for yourself.
It could be yourself. Exactly. So this is like really good. So miracles, romance, power, and new love. And that new love, that jumped out, which means that there is something right on the cusp for you. You have been working diligently towards a goal, towards something that you really want to do, and that is coming up for you. So make sure that your eyes are wide open, you're listening, any ideas that are coming to you, if you notice somebody looking at you a particular way or has an eye on you, regardless if it's in a relationship or maybe a promotion or a job thing, it's a new love that is starting to happen. So you want to make sure you stay open and receptive and you accept all of it that's coming in, for sure. Don't turn your head. Don't do any stinking thinking, all that kind of stuff. So there it is. What did you get out of it?
No negative self-talk.
No negative self-talk. That is so true. So true. I love it. So that's what we got this week, you guys. So make sure that you keep reminding yourself. You've got miracles coming. There's romance. You've got to utilize your power. And your new love is, whatever that new love for you is, it's right there, right on the cusp. All you have to say is, I am open and ready to receive. And it will start coming to you. So that's amazing. All right. Well, it's already 7:46. Can you imagine how fast it goes?
That was really fast.
I know. Can you believe how much I can talk?
Yes, I can.
I'm like, holy cow.
3 hours of coffee.
Oh my gosh. It is like so hot too in here. It's like the air conditioning is not working. I have to get the heating and air conditioning guy out. We have to change the motor in it because the fan doesn't go as well.
I'm telling you, this is a really bad time for that.
It really is.
It's supposed to be really bad this weekend.
So, well, you know what?
Well, really good, depending on how you feel about it.
This is going to be the clincher, right? I have that new big giant pool that you blow up, and you have little cup holders, so you can fill it with water with the little cup holders and just sit in the little waiting pool
all day.
All day.
We could do the show out there.
We could probably do the show out there.
That would be fun.
That would be fun.
I would totally come do that show with you.
So, yeah. So that is like, I know, right? We just have to figure out how to get all that stuff outside. But that's what I'll probably be doing. Sitting in a bowl of ice cubes, literally. All right. So here's the thing. This is why we're here. I want you to share your story with people. You know, when I got to know you, you talked about how you got involved with Mary Kay. And, you know, you guys all know, like, when we do a show, it's not like an infomercial or anything, but when I was listening to Niki's story, I was floored by it, and I just love her passion. And with her being with Mary Kay, it's not about the money, really.
No.
It's not about getting people. It really is about the passion that she has of helping people discover how awesome they are. And that, to me, is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Oh my gosh, you are so welcome. So please, I want you to, you know, share with us, like, how did you get started with Mary Kay? What happened?
Okay, so I belong to a MOPS group, Mothers of Preschoolers out in Crystal Lake. And I had just had my second child at this point. I put out a thing on Facebook, you know, I really need a mom's group. I'm kind of going crazy. I went through postpartum, both with my first and with my second.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was really, really difficult on me, on my kid, on my marriage. I'm now divorced, but it was really hard. So I had my third one. I'm in this MOPS group now. starting to feel myself go through that hole again, you
right?
know? And I'm at this point deathly afraid it's going to happen.
So wait, so this is what we're going to do, because we want to like get the whole kit and caboodle, because there's so many things, and this is what I love, because there's so many women out there who are in your situation. There's so many people out there who are afraid to share, you know, how they're feeling, when it's postpartum, all that kind of stuff. So what was it that you felt about yourself when you were going through postpartum?
I felt my anxiety coming back. I felt weepy.
Okay.
I felt out of control. Like, I felt like nothing was going right. And a lot of people say that, like, oh, you know, you're just a mom. You got 3 kids now. It's, you know, things are crazy because you're just getting in the groove of things.
Right.
But, you know, when I sat back and I thought about, you know what, I like to do all sorts of things before. And I just don't even want to get up. Like, I'm sitting here nursing a baby. I wake up. I change the baby. I watch the kids. And I go back to bed and do the same exact thing.
Right.
Like, it was just, I mean, at this point, too, it was so hard. So my fiance was sleeping on the couch. I was sleeping in the bed with the infant. Like, it was really difficult. I'm sorry, I'm getting like...
Oh my gosh, no, go ahead.
It was really, really hard because, like, I needed him. I needed him to be there, but... just the way things were all happening, he couldn't be in the bed with us. Like, the space wasn't there, and the baby was waking up, and he had to go to work. Like, it just wasn't working out. But to me, it felt like my world was just, like... Crumbling, yeah. And I couldn't get myself to just stay happy for a whole day or a whole week. Like, I just couldn't.
Right.
And it was really, really hard.
And there's so many women who go through that. Even men go through that. You know, because this show is for men as well. But even, Haley and Carrie are there. But just for, you know, that purpose alone of having that feeling. Now, I've only had one child and he's 25. But in general, I too deal with anxiety. I deal with depression. There's, you know, days where I will be on the couch and I don't move and, you know, but you somehow have to dig deep and pull up your bootstraps and carry on. And when you're a young mother, and you're young, you've got 3 little children, and you're just like, I'm older. Oh my God, I'm going to be 49 this year. It's like next month, for cry eye. But stuff like that, it's like, you know, it's a lot of pressure because the world today is different from how it was when my son was young.
Women have to wear so many hats.
Right.
So many more hats than, I mean, and people were talking about how it's really hard for women in the workplace and this, that, and the next thing. Well, they're just adding that on top of their regular things that they need to do already, too. Like, right. We're still expected to raise the kids. We're still expected to, like, do everything that a woman would normally do.
Right.
However, now the expectations are higher because now, I mean, the cost of living has gone up. So now both have to work. And while dads can do a great job at staying home, and I know so many guys who are stay-at-home dads, and it's awesome.
Oh my God, I do too.
But, like, at the same time, you still have that motherly instinct, and you still feel responsible for being there for your children. So while society may not be putting it on you,
you're putting it on
you. And I definitely feel responsible for...
I definitely, you know, I don't have young children, but I feel, you know, the anxiety. I feel the pressure, the responsibility that I put upon my own self. Because when I don't feel like cleaning or doing things or making sure that this is done and somebody has that, it's like, oh my gosh, well, I'm a woman. I should be able to do that. I should be doing this all the time. I should be able to do this and this and this. And I'm tired. Like, I'm exhausted. It's like, I can't even stand to be next to myself half the time.
Well, plus, our brains are working more.
Right.
Like, it's been scientifically proven that our brains just constantly are going and going and going. Like, no wonder we're tired all the time.
Yeah.
On top of the kids.
It never shuts off.
House and the work and...
No,
it never shuts off.
And make sure you have dinner on the table and, you know... My son is 25, so it's like...
I gave up on dinner a long time ago.
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
I can't cook for the life of me.
Well, I mean, I can cook, but I do like a lot of, you know, crock pot stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or when I really cook, then I'll cook something. But it gets to be monotonous after a while, and you're just busy. And if you're dealing with health issues, like for me, Oh, your friend Pat is saying hi, Nikki.
That's my godmother.
Oh, that's
Hi,
awesome.
Auntie Pat.
So with me, it's like dealing with my stuff, and I just thought, maybe I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And you fight this, anxiety, depression, you deal with it, but you hide it, you mask it. And I've always played it off as if it's like not a big deal. I'm just, whatever,
You're just being emotional, or you're just being a woman.
And I just found out with my brain mapping, with my results, it's like, oh no, this is what's going on. And that threw me for a loop, because now it was in black and white on paper. And I was like, what?
It's got to be really nice, though.
It is.
Finally have that proof, I guess you could say.
Yeah, even though I wasn't looking for it, that proof, because I still would like to deny it, but it's still there. But it is what it is. But back to you. But that's the stuff. I mean, but that rings true, because this is what we're talking about, like postpartum. I mean, the pressure is there.
It's real. It's very, very real.
Yeah.
And it comes in all different degrees. All different. So, like, while a friend of mine could go through, like, absolutely terrible depression where she has to go to the psychiatrist, all this and that, like, I wasn't like that, but what I was feeling was still very, very real.
Yeah.
And no matter what, I didn't feel validated, so it caused a lot of problems in, like, my relationship, and my kids are just breaking off, and
sure,
it was just, it's hard. It's really hard.
Well, that's the biggest thing, because, if you look at a perspective of a man, right? They're trying to manage you. Mm-hmm. They're trying to, and you know what? And that's what they do. They manage everything. They go to work and they do what they have to do. They bring home the bacon. You know what I mean? And then they try to manage it in such a way where, they're trying not to piss you off. They're trying to.
They want to make us happy, but then they want to spend time with the kids. But then what about wanting to just sit on the couch and watch TV? Like,
right. And because they've had a stressful day too, and we just see it as ourselves, and it really does. It turns into like drama.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I can see where, like, with young people, I mean, I've been married once before. My ex-husband, he was a restaurant manager, and so his priority was managing the restaurant. I had to deal with everything else, and clearly he was my first husband. That didn't work out very well.
That's all right.
But
we
still,
live and learn.
We do. We live and learn, and now I have an extraordinary young man who is, he's not young. He's my little old man, but he's so funny. But still, he, he picked up, raising my son, because my ex left early. And my son has an awesome dad. He adopted him, and
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love those stories.
I know. I try not to say it too much when he's around, because I don't like his head to swell. I like it
right out there.
I'm sure he is.
There's his hand.
Oh, there he is. He's working on our air conditioner, trying to get that thing done. So he's got his little, blow up for now, and then that'll last him for a couple of days. We're good. We're good. But really, honestly, it's true, though. I mean, one of the things that I have found is that you have to really, the men like to be validated as well. And it's so hard that we have to, like, pull up, our own, hurts and stuff like that, and how we're feeling, because they want to feel validated. Because here's the other thing, too. Oh, hey, Dawn. Is one of the things is that, men see us with the kids all the time, and all we care about is the children. And so they feel left out. Like, where do they fit in?
Exactly.
I'm just here for you to bring home the bacon, and you get to do this. You get to go shopping. You get to watch TV. You get to sit on the couch and eat bonbons. You get to go drink wine all the time. Like,
Have you ever seen those posts where it's got those squares, what my parents think I do, what my neighbor thinks I does, what my husband thinks I does, what I really do? They're like memes.
Oh, I should see it.
They're funny.
Oh my gosh.
My fiance, he works at Home Depot. He used to work nights. He's never having, he never gets weekends off. So me and the kids, the first time we went to the beach, well, you could tell that he was a little about it. So when we went yesterday, he went with us, and he was like in heaven. He was on top of the world because he got to do something with the family.
Right.
So.
Yeah, because they get left
definitely
out.
see it.
My husband does that all the time. Like if I travel, if I go places. Now it's been, I think about almost 2 years now. I really haven't done any traveling on my own, which that's probably one of our problems because I normally would be out of town like 3 or 4 times a year for like a week or so or a weekend, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think absence makes the heart grow fonder. And when you're there all the time in front of each other's face, you can't go fonder if you're...
Maybe we should go on a vacation.
Oh my God, for sure.
our husband's sake.
For sure.
Right?
For sure.
I like that idea.
And my husband always says, but you always get to go travel and you get to do this. It's like, you can go. Please, go fishing. Go do something. It's okay. I'm good with it. But I'm definitely up for a trip soon. I need something.
Yeah.
For sure. I need a little R&R from all my drama.
You do.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lot.
For sure. So, okay, back to you. I love this show. I really do. I love the Just Rita Real Talk live radio show. Okay, so that's how you started. So you had postpartum.
I had postpartum. I was in MOPS. There was a girl in our MOPS group that was saying, oh, you want to come for a facial? She did Mary Kay. And I was like, no. Like, I wasn't about doing anything for myself at that point at all. Well, this woman came in, did her whole speech thing, and she talked about how you get back to feeling like your old self. So my ears perked up. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And she's like, when you go back and you think about what you always wanted before husband, before kids, and for her, it was as simple as red lipstick. Like, she always wanted to wear red lipstick. So to pull herself out of being in the blues, she woke up every morning and put that red lipstick on. And she's like, it made me a new person. Like, if mom's happy, the house is happy.
Yes.
If mom's mad, run. Right?
Correct.
So she woke up every day, put on that red lipstick, and she was a fabulous woman. So I looked over at Tiffany, and I'm like, so you have any red lipstick? And she did, of course, because what Mary Kay consultant doesn't have red lipstick? And so I went to her house. I followed her that day. She did the whole facial with me. I felt so much better.
Wow.
Just taking care of myself.
Yes.
But money's tight. So I bought my red lipstick, and she's like, you want to come to bingo? We're doing bingo. You win free Mary Kay products. I'm like, wait. I can feel this good for free. Excuse me. So I went to bingo. The next Monday, I went to her meeting, and I sat there and I looked, and these women had these beautiful suits on. They were purple, and they were a little speckled, the directors. Oh, they were gorgeous. And all these consultants were being recognized for, like, everything. For getting, like, 20 faces, for selling 30 lip gloss, like, everything. They weren't talking about their kids. They weren't talking about their husbands. They were talking about them and their goals and their dreams. And they were being recognized for them. And they were meeting their goals. And I'm thinking to myself, like, back in high school and college, I was constantly setting goals. And I was always that book smart person. Like, I always had to get that 102%. Like,
oh my God, I am not that girl.
That was me. I didn't have a very good social life, but books, I was good. So that was what I did. I loved the goals, and I loved being recognized for them. So I'm like, what if this is my red lipstick? You know? It wasn't really red lipstick, to be honest. It was just something that I liked to do before. It was my lipstick. I like to set goals. I wanted to be recognized for them. So a week later, I signed my beauty agreement, and I have been setting goals and meeting them for just over a year now.
See, that is my favorite story. And that's, I think, you had me at the red lipstick story because...
This is my pants. They have little
I know,
lipsticks.
I see that. She's got cute little red lipsticks on her pants. They're actually kisses, red kisses. But that's the thing. It's like when you were talking about your red lipstick and how, it was all about you and the recognition and, not necessarily in order to get something from someone.
No.
But it was all about the way you expressed it. And I could just see every time you talked about it or you even brought it up, it was like you just, this whole person just comes right in and you light up like a firefly.
It's awesome.
And
moms don't get, like, as a mom and going through postpartum and all of that stuff, and even not going through postpartum, you don't feel recognized. I mean, what kid, I mean, my son went through a thank you phase today earlier and thanked us for everything, which was crazy. But what kid thanks you for random stuff?
You know what, though? That's because, and I will tell you this right now.
No mom feels like they're getting the credit that they deserve.
Well, that's not true.
I don't know. I didn't.
Because
did you?
I did.
Oh, you were lucky.
I did, and I still do. And it really is something where I didn't have to wait till I was on my deathbed or, you know, something bad. It was like my son has always been that way. And it's probably because of who you are and your character and how you're with your children and you raise your children, because I didn't have to tell my son all the time how to be a particular way. I didn't have to like spank him or do anything. All I have to do is shoot a look and he knows, like, we're done.
My 5-year-old is a tester.
Yeah.
He sees the look and then he turns around and it's like one of those out of sight, out of mind things.
Yeah, he's like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Right?
So that one's going to kill me. That middle one is going to kill me.
Oh my gosh. It's hilarious. It's so funny. It's like when you sit there and you look at things, like I only have the one child and he's a man child because he's 25. But when I look at how he has been over the years and how he has flourished and grown, it's really because of how much effort you put into it. Mm-hmm. And I learned early on that, because I come from a background that's not very good. I mean, I came from a violent background. Children are seen and not heard. If my dad was very violent growing up, so you don't have that good rapport. Mm-hmm. But I made sure that I like broke cycles. And so I always put myself in a position like, what was I like at every age my son was at? And whenever he was going through tough times or emotional, because I find that boys are more emotional than girls. Now, I don't have a girl.
You know what? That's true. So my daughter's on the spectrum, so it's a little bit different. But so far,
yeah,
my boys are more emotional.
But I find, yeah, that's what I find. And talking to my friends who have both, boys and girls too, they find that the boys cry more than the girls do. The girls are like just snotty little crybabies, you know, just to be getting their way. But the boys are deeply emotional. They feel things deeply. And so I would always put myself in a position where whatever age he was at, that's where I was at. And I always would remember. And I thought to myself, as I would reflect on my own childhood, how cool it would have been if my parents would have actually let me know that they were human and that they were children too.
Instead of just the disciplinarian.
Oh gosh,
and
yeah.
the authority, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's something where I made a conscious effort to let my son know that I get it. I've been there. I know exactly what you're thinking, how you feel. And it just made everything so much better. Yeah. And I think he appreciated it because he really is an extraordinary person. Anybody who's out there who's 25 or more, he'll probably a little bit older. He likes the older ones. You can get a hold of me. My son will be like, Mom, are you crazy? What is wrong with you? Quit talking about me. That's what he does all the time. So back to you, as always. Little sidetrack.
It's all right. We had 2 hours.
Oh my gosh, for sure. Good. I know.
Because if you didn't, you'd be in trouble.
I totally would be in trouble. And then we would have you back so that we can definitely dive deeper into your life.
Come back.
Yeah. Oh my God, for sure. I would totally have you back.
I love this room.
Thank
I would just come back and sit in here.
I know. I love this room as well. When I told people that even my mother-in-law, that our room was green, we painted it green, she was like, are you crazy? I'm like, I love my room.
Bright lime green?
Yeah, I love it. Black, green, and bling. That's what I say. All right. So, again, back to you.
Yes.
So, the whole passion thing. So, all right. So, you started with the Mary Kay. Mm-hmm. And then how did you like really dig deep. How did you find when you come through obstacles, when, you know, because you have to create a following, you've got to have clients, you know, that kind of thing. How did you dig deep to keep your passion going?
I make friends, which was something that I was lacking.
Okay.
I don't just look for clients. I look for friends. So
I love that. Okay.
I want to be able to call. Like I have several clients that would just come over and they'll buy a lipstick. They'll buy nothing. But they'll sit there and we'll talk and we'll laugh. We'll have play dates. Like, that's fine. See, that's what it's about to me. I want to build relationships. And with that, my Mary Kay business will grow.
Right.
But I mean, I started my company to feel better about myself. And I want to set an example for my daughter. So
No, I love it when there's emotion, because here's the thing. The one thing I love about emotion is when you are inspired and it brings you to tears, and it's literally tears of joy, really. That's how I know that you are real, you're authentic, you are really digging deep into yourself, and you are giving of yourself to others. And when you can do that, so for instance, I love the fact that you don't look at it as, you know, getting clients. You are attracting friendships to you. You're attracting people to you that you can connect on a whole other level, not just business, and in order to get something to move you forward.
And the business is nice. I mean, it's nice to be able to wake up and get dressed. And I mean, makeup or no makeup, you can have your own feelings about it. But I like to put on the makeup and go out and feel put together. Like, I don't know. I just, something about it, it just makes me feel adulting is hard, but adulting and looking good, it makes it not as hard.
Right?
You know, it makes it a little bit more fun. I get to play with color. I mean, I get to feel better about myself. I can pull out that mirror to put my makeup on and not be like, ugh.
Right.
You know, I'm more like excited about what I can create it into.
See, that too is amazing. And that's the biggest thing. You know, I'm all about, you know, people discovering that power, that confidence. And as you just beautifully put it, when you're able to put on your face, you look so much different. You're confident, you're happy, you feel like you can conquer the world because you took care of yourself and you shifted and changed your mindset in a way where every time you look in the mirror, you're like, oh my God, I look awesome. And then you're able to move forward. And it's like, everybody sees it. And everybody's going to be like, oh my God, what do you got? I want that.
Well, I definitely go days without makeup. And I still feel just as good. But it's because I've kind of, I mean, I've been in it for just over a year. So I've kind of trained myself to look in the mirror and not be sad. You know, I mean, I am getting older. I mean, I understand. I'm still young. I get it.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Oh my God, 30.
But 30 was hard.
I remember
for
30.
Me. 30 was turning 30 was was tough for me.
Sure. How about turning 49?
I'm not looking forward to that either.
My husband turned 50 last year, and so I mean, I'm just like, holy cow. But I'm fine with it. It is what it is. Whatever.
You guys can grow old together.
Right?
And that's what it's about, right?
Yeah.
Finding somebody that's going to stick with you, whether it be a boyfriend, husband, whatever, a friend. See, and with Mary Kay, I'm going to meet my forever friends.
You know what? And I think that's awesome because even like with a spouse, right? If you really, this is how I think about it. Who are you going to spend the rest of your life with? You know, when you spend the rest of your life with somebody, you're not going to have the glitz, the glam, the sex, all that stuff. You may have the sex every now and again, but you're literally spending the rest of your life with a best friend that you can go somewhere with or go antiquing or go and do something with. And is it, you know, that's how I see it sometimes where, you know, sometimes when you're in the monotony of the same person with you all the time and you guys fight, you don't get along, you're like this and that. But in the end, the one thing that I stay with my husband for is I know that I would miss him because we do things together that is
AC
so much fun. Does it feel cooler?
I think he got it working.
Does it feel cool?
I don't know. I can't reach.
So that's something.
It is. It's cold.
It's cold?
It's cold.
Oh my God, you guys! I might have to cancel the heating and air conditioning guy. Oh.
Doesn't it feel cold? Or does it just feel like air?
No, it actually does feel colder. We're just going to leave that running a little bit. Okay, well, that's awesome, you guys. Hopefully that works. And the air, well, it'll cool down in my house because it is warm.
A little bit.
And if that works, oh, that would be amazing. But, yeah, I think that's, that's awesome. And for you to find forever friends, that to me is absolutely amazing. There's so many people who are in business in order to get something. And it's like you always know who you want to participate in a business capacity and who you don't. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And for me, I always want to be around people who are like-minded like myself. So even if I'm selling something or doing whatever, it's always to make sure that somebody else is getting more value than they would expect. I always over-deliver.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That is like the one thing that I can hold myself to. Even with the coaching. Like, I'll coach people all the time so that people already get a sense of where I'm at, how I am. It's not like, no, I'm off the clock, and so don't even ask me. Or, I don't, take, money or credit cards or, you know what I mean? I will freely give myself to somebody.
Well, you're an energy giver.
Yeah.
You're not an energy, and they talk about that a lot in Mary Kay. Is that be an energy giver, don't be an energy sucker or drainer.
Right.
You're just like I believe it's the 5 people that you're around.
Yeah.
That's who you're like. So surround yourself by energy givers.
Yeah.
It'll just make you a happier person.
And that's what I do. I give. I do a lot of giving. People around me are givers. Mm-hmm. Anybody who's a taker, they typically bow out pretty quickly on their own.
Like your air conditioning.
I know. I think you turned it off. I don't know if he's impressed with it or what, but
it was sad.
Who knows? I know. I was like, because it kind of cooled off in here a little bit because I was pretty sweaty. So, but yeah, it's like, those are the biggest things. It's like when somebody is able to give, and again, that's all about the passion too. So like if you were doing something that you would do for free, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I coach for free all the time, but I also get paid for it as well because I do have to pay my bills, you guys. But those are things that I do. And, like with the radio show, I give with the radio show. I always give back with the radio show because I have people on the show. So like when you guys are at, www.justritarealtalk.com, Nikki's picture is on there. And then her stuff has been up there all week. You can click on her website. So you can either click on the picture or the link to her website, and you can see what she's all about and create, a Mary Kay relationship, if you wanted to. Or, you never know what could come about.
Right.
Or you connect with somebody on such a deep level that people want to just be around you.
2 of my my recruiter and then a girl that I recruited into Mary Kay, they're both standing up in my wedding now.
Get out of here.
I really didn't know this girl well at all. This Tiffany, I didn't know her well at all. And she has become amazing.
Wow.
Like absolutely amazing. So, I don't know. I want to be somebody else's Tiffany.
Yeah. Well, you are. You are a whole bunch of people's Tiffany that you don't even realize. And that's the other thing that I love as well is when people, they know that they're there for people and they know that they do good and people appreciate it. But what I love is when you don't really know how deep it goes.
She had no idea until I wrote, because I did a thing on my own private FB page.
Right.
And I wrote this long thing about my story. She had no idea what my story really was. She just knew that she recruited me and that was it. But she had no idea how much that little facial, that meant to me.
Yeah.
It was beyond words.
See, and that's the thing. That's where, I love this show because this could be for anyone, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life. any of you guys listening out there, it doesn't matter what is going on in your life. If you have an opportunity to go somewhere, see something, do something, you never know when you accept that opportunity where it's going to take you. And that's the thing that I absolutely love the most, is you just never know. And that's why I love this show, is because people can see different things for themselves. Maybe, somebody was never going to go to, maybe go do a facial down the street or whatever the case may be. And now they're going to be giving whatever that is for them a chance.
Yes.
And then maybe they'll get connected and, start to see something different for themselves and do something different. Yes. And so many people don't do anything for themselves.
I think there's a lot of fear too, because nobody wants to be sold, right?
Right. So I don't want to be sold.
Nobody wants to be sold. So you don't want to go to the facial because you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go to this facial, or I'll go to this class, Tupperware party, whatever.
Right.
You don't want to be sold. Go. Just go. You don't have to buy.
Right.
Just go and do something for yourself. If you fall in love with the product, you fall in love with it. But go. Have the conversation.
Right.
Do something for yourself. Pull yourself out.
Yeah.
Wherever you are. Like, don't say no. Like, just go.
And here's the thing, too, what I absolutely love is the fact that there's so many things out there nowadays. And it doesn't even have to be like a home-based business. It could be, I don't know, getting on a league, a bowling league, or doing volleyball.
Have you ever done that?
A bowling league?
Yeah.
A long time ago.
I did a long time ago.
Long time ago. I had fun. A long time ago.
So, okay, continue. It's like, why would she use that as an example?
I don't know. I was just told to say bowling league. So I was like okay. But stuff like that, it's like, you go and you start to participate, even if you're uncomfortable, even if you're doing it by yourself. There's a lot of things that I find that when I go by myself, I'll have a lot of anxiety prior to, I'll go to it, and then you're just like, oh my gosh, and then you just seem to find people gravitate to you. You may know them, you may not have seen them in a long period of time, but then all of a sudden you're just like, oh, holy cow, this is awesome. And then you participate.
The best friendships that we make are by stepping out of our comfort zone.
Absolutely. And I've stepped out so many times.
Could you imagine if you and your best friend, I don't know who your best friend is, could you imagine if one of you didn't say hi?
Yes, my best friend.
Yes,
my best friend is Mary Knopf, and we used to work for a chiropractic company together. And I had already been at the company, and so she came to our clinic, and, everybody's trying to figure out who's who and what's what. And one day she told me that she had, on her lunch hour, she was finishing up class and at MCC, and there was a flyer on the board that said Spirit Fair in Cary, Illinois, blah, 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 date. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah, they have psychics. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going with you. And she was like, what? I go, well, I just totally invited myself, but I'm going to go with you. We're going to go together. And it was that weekend. And we have been best friends ever since. It's been 8 years now.
Now, did she ever go to that before?
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever go to that before?
Yes. And
by yourselves?
Yes. Because we weren't friends. We came from two different worlds.
That's
so
cool.
It was like I always wanted somebody who was like me, where I can open up my gifts, I can really flourish in this field and really advance myself. But I wanted somebody to do it with, not just by myself. And ask and you shall receive. Everything aligned the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And there we are. And so we have been each other's rocks. My gosh. Ever since.
That's awesome.
It is like, she's 56 years old. She looks like she's...
I bet you she loves you right now for saying that on the air.
Oh, she doesn't care because she looks amazing. She's actually in Sedona, Arizona.
Oh, Suzanne. Hi,
So,
Suzanne.
hey! She's actually in Sedona, Arizona right now doing a yoga retreat and meditation retreat.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. She's like, I'm like, how come you didn't invite me? She goes, Rita, I don't think you would have been able to handle it. Because they do a lot of sitting on the floor, and they're hiking, and I'm not in the condition right now to be able to do it. Next year, I will be, because my life is shifting and changing.
You let me know.
Health-wise.
I will do it with you.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, I would love to, but, like, I have no flexibility, and just be on a floor, sitting there meditating is just...
I haven't done yoga in 2 years.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
With my third.
Oh, really?
So I'm right there with you.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. So she loves that stuff, and so when we met, our worlds went, oh, the sky opened,
yeah,
opportunities came, and everything has just been like peas and carrots ever since.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love friendships like
that. You know what? It's amazing. I've never really had that kind of a relationship with somebody.
No.
Ever. No. That's the first one.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of like how me and my best friend are.
Yeah.
I kind of like I kind of got gifted my best friend.
How's that? How do you get gifted a best friend?
Her husband, her fiance, is my fiance's best friend, and that's how we just kind of met.
Oh.
So she just kind of like started coming, like we went camping and we met and we just kind of like clicked.
Yeah.
It was weird. We were like cut from the same cloth though.
See, isn't that amazing how that stuff works?
Hippies.
Yes, and I'll tell you, you know what, and that's it's a free spirit. It's like, you know, you're able to be yourself without any judgment. Mm-hmm. And with my girlfriend, you know, there's no judgment. Any of my friends, I have no judgment. Now, if I see you coming off the rails, I'll tell ya. But there's no judgment, and I don't get judgment in return. And one of the biggest things, too, is anybody who, you know, because there's a lot of friends out there where they'll start to compete with you.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, anybody who starts competing with me on any level, right at the knees, you're gone. I just cut them off.
You should be like a team.
Yeah, I'm not interested in competing with anyone. Like, nobody compete with me, and I can't compete with anybody else. Everybody is special. They're unique. They have their own gifts. And nobody can, you know, compete with me on any level because nobody's inside my head.
Right.
Nobody knows.
You're an individual.
And I can't compete with somebody else because everybody has different gifts. You know, everybody is special and unique. And my gift is, you know, helping people see their greatness. I'm like that big flashlight shining the brightness on you so you can discover it. Yes. 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 In fact, I'm getting flashlights made with my logo on it. Mm-hmm.
That would be perfect. Mm-hmm. Are you going through the chamber? Because I know a guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, am I going through the chamber?
Yeah,
yes. I actually am.
Okay.
Dina.
Okay.
With CDM Promotions.
I don't think I've met her.
Yeah, she's with an Allie, Dina and Allie. They're out in, they used to be in Huntley, but now they're out in Gilbert's.
Okay.
So they do all the promotional stuff.
Oh, Suzanne, it works with
Suzanne.
Her. Okay.
Yes.
That's why I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
DM. I know them, but I
yes.
don't know them.
Yes. They're amazing. They're a part of my group. That's when I said, you should come to our ladies' luncheon leads.
I'm going to do it. I will do it.
So
now with the schedules changing with my fiance, it's kind of, everything is kind of up in the air right now.
Sure.
Not going to lie to you.
Well,
this next week is going to be a learning
You want to make sure
process.
that you are, see, even Suzanne says yes. You want to make sure because we don't have a makeup person.
I know, and I want in on that group so bad.
It's a good group.
But it's in the morning, and now he's being switched to mornings.
Oh, it's from 11:30 until 1 every first and third Wednesday.
I'm gonna make this work.
Yeah, so our next meeting is on the third Wednesday.
Write this down before I leave.
Yeah.
Like,
so
don't
yeah,
let me leave.
I won't.
Seriously, because I need to get in on that group.
It's an amazing group. They're amazing women. I love them. Yeah.
I'm there.
Totally. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's like almost 8:30. It's 8:28. It's 28 past the hour, my friends. All right, so the passion. Where has your passion?
Well, I definitely have confidence. So I have more friends. I hope that I'm a better mother. As you know, I'm becoming friends with my kids' parents. So my kids are having more play dates and stuff, and it's helping their friendships grow. So it's gotten me further in that aspect socially.
See, that, again, that is something that I absolutely love. The fact that, you know, when you're doing something like this, you know, and it's not even like just the Mary Kay, it's like any business that you do, or anything, whether you're going to a brick and mortar job or you're doing your own business, whatever that may be, when you start to put yourself out there in a way that you have and you're creating relationships, then everybody, it like everything trickles down and everything just starts to work.
A year and a half ago, I was a huge hermit.
Yeah.
Huge. Like, you would never see me leave my house. I hated it.
I
like what
get
has
it.
come
I get it.
From joining and putting myself out there has been crazy.
Right.
It's been crazy. Like, the journey is nuts. It's wonderful.
Yes.
Like, I love it. And I have ups. I have downs. I mean, business is good. Business is not so good.
Right.
No matter what business you have. But it's all, you just got to keep going.
Yes.
You have to keep going. Because you're not doing it, well, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it to help myself grow and become a better person. Because what's the point in life if you're not going to be better tomorrow?
You know what? And I love that. Oh yeah, she's so cute. Susanna's awesome, but that's the biggest thing is like people don't realize that where I come from, people don't do self-development. They don't expand themselves unless they're already some sort of freak of nature. Like when I was born, you know, things happened. I wasn't raised by my parents. I was raised by my aunt and uncle, who I thought were my parents, and I didn't find out the truth until I was going to my senior year of high school.
That's crazy.
So then the world for me blew up. But the thing is, you know, in that time, I already knew that I was special. There's already things that I was already doing, like positive thinking, you know, being a particular way, self-development. And I remember my mother saying a long time ago about, you know, this whole positive thinking is so stupid and it doesn't get you anywhere. It doesn't pay the bills. It doesn't do this. And it's like, oh my God, how could you think like that?
Yeah.
You know, and that's basically, I have literally based my whole adult life around it.
She's an energy drainer.
Yes. And so I was like, when I look back at my life, I see all the self-development that I do, and I continue to do. And I continue to let go of the past bit by bit by bit, because people don't also realize that when you hold on to your past, you don't even know you're holding on to it, but you can tell people who are loaded, bogged down with baggage, who don't really know they have baggage or even know what it really means to have baggage. You know, they think that they're getting through life and they're this and they're that and they're an expert. And yet, when you start to release all that and let it go, then you start to see things shift and change.
Yeah.
And when you're growing, that's one of the things I love about your outlook and your story is because you could have been that person staying in the house being a hermit and you wouldn't even be here today. But because you picked yourself up, you went and got a facial, you put on your red lipstick, and you've been putting on your red lipstick.
Oh, it's pink now.
Every day since.
Setting those goals, yeah.
Right? But even like the pink lipstick or whatever the lipstick is, like it's just a metaphor, you guys. The lipstick is a metaphor. And so that's the thing for me. You know, I've dealt with anxiety and depression, gosh, forever. And there's times, I know what you're talking about, being a hermit. I know when I am going into seclusion and my husband's like, what are you doing? You've got to get up. You've got to get out. You've got to get in the shower.
That's so cool that he notices.
Yeah, my son notices too.
Your things. Like, it's so important to have somebody, if you're going through that, to have somebody that knows the warning signs of you going downhill. So that's awesome that you have that in him. It's
amazing. And so when you've got your stuff where, you know, that's where you are able to pick yourself up. That's why I love, you know, how many women are out there right now? Hey, Emily, how many women are out there right now who are going through postpartum or who have gone through postpartum or who feel like they're alone? You know, there's a lot of maybe women who come from violent backgrounds who feel like they have no recourse. They have no way out, or anybody that they can extend their arm to say, help me.
And that's hard. Like, that's another thing that I've been through, too. I think that's what makes it so easy for me to connect with a lot of the clients that I service, is because no matter what they're going through, I've been through my fair share of dramas, per se.
Sure.
So no matter what they're going through, I somehow can relate to what they're talking about, and that's where the friendships come in.
Right.
So it's so cool that something that's so terrible, like how you're using what happened to you to help people. Like, that's kind of like how I'm living my life too. So that's so awesome.
And it's amazing. So when you can shift that perspective and say, it actually didn't happen to me, it actually happened for me. Because if I didn't realize that actually happened for me, my boot camp of life, my childhood boot camp, then I wouldn't be who I am today.
Right.
So that is, copyrighted, you guys. That is like my deal. But
I'm going to use it. So.
Yeah, go ahead. But make sure you say, Just Rita Real Talk said it. Because I'm creating a whole workshop around childhood boot camp. How did your childhood boot camp go? What decisions did you make in your childhood boot camp that is still running your life today?
Yeah.
That is no longer serving you?
How can you make it serve you?
How can you make it serve you?
Yeah.
By taking it and turning it into a positive. It's like you actually take that event, what occurred, and you actually change your story with it. So, for instance, I could have, and rightfully so, had been a sucky human being for the rest of my life. I could have been angry. I could have been nasty. I could have been like, you owe me, to everyone and anyone because of all the things that I've gone through in my lifetime. But instead, I said, I'm not that girl. I want to use that and fuel the passions that I have to help other people to get out of those situations. Oh my God, somebody really loved that part of it. Thank you. And so that's something that I want to do. So I take what occurred with that situation and say, look, I took it and I realized I had to go through all that stuff because in my life today, I help so many people. Women, men, it doesn't matter because men have been in abusive relationships as well, have been abused as children. You know, boys are taught to not cry, suck it up, you know.
I think that's terrible.
They get whipped. So there's a lot of stuff that men have been through and people don't realize it.
Is it hailing?
It could be, or it's just some rain.
Gosh.
It's going to cool off now. Oh. So stuff like that, it's like that's how I take it and I shift it and I change it. And you can change your story. You know, you can't change the facts. You can't change what happened. But you can change how it occurred for you instead of to you. And then you can use that to help another person get out of their puddle.
So like we were talking about at coffee, be the victor.
Be the victor.
Don't be the victim.
Don't be the victim. Because a victim will always have a victim mentality and they will be a victim in every aspect of their life. But if you persevere and you conquer all the things that you've gone through in your lifetime and you are doing great things with it. So speaking out, one of the biggest things I think is absolutely amazing is when somebody can acknowledge what has occurred and speak out on how it can be a preventative, how somebody can get over it, how somebody can come from that kind of an environment and make great things out of themselves.
Right.
Depending on whatever it is that you want to do. And those are the things to me that are absolutely amazing. So for you, I know one of the things that you shared with me is that you feel like you're a coach to the people that you service when you're doing facials. Because when a woman is looking at themselves in the mirror, oh, thank you for the love, you guys. I love it. When you're doing the facials with somebody's looking in the mirror.
Yeah.
And so when you are in the mirror, that is telling how you feel about yourself.
A big thing that we do after facials is I ask you to look in the mirror and tell me your favorite thing. So, I mean, I honest to God don't care if you are in love with your eyeshadow color, but I want you to tell me I love my eyes. Like, that's That just gives me the goosebumps. Is when a woman tells me, I love my eyes, or I love my skin, I love my nose, my lips. Like, that's amazing to me. Instead of telling me, I love the color of my blush.
Right.
Tell me you love your cheekbones. That's what I want to hear. Like, tell me you love yourself, and tell me you feel good, because that's how I felt when I tried Mary Kay for the first time. Like, I want people to feel the exact same way, and I don't know how realistic that is, but I want people to feel how I felt when I had my first facial.
And it's as realistic as you make it. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter. That's the thing that makes you absolutely extraordinary. Hey, Sandy, that's one of the things that makes you absolutely extraordinary, is because you are taking your experience, you're sharing it with somebody else, and allowing them to share in that experience for themselves. That is somebody who is a giver. That is somebody who is like, it's not about the makeup. It really is about you seeing something in that mirror, because everybody is a mirror with eyeballs. Everyone. And so when you see the reflection of yourself, you are getting intimate with yourself. If you can do mirror work is amazing work. And so when you're doing a facial, you're literally doing mirror work at the same time. And mirror work is when you can be in the mirror for a period of time without judgment. You don't being with yourself, loving yourself for who you are. And when I started to do that for myself, I would look at my eyes and stare straight at my eyes, and I could see, oh, here I go. Here comes my tears. It's like, there you are, my old friend. You know, I haven't seen you for a while, and that's the stuff where it's just magical. And if you can give that gift to somebody else, and they feel that, that's what makes it amazing.
You're going to make me start crying.
I know, I can't help it.
We're just going to be on Facebook Live crying.
But that's how it is for me. That's how it occurs. And so when you're, I loathe.
Susie, we love you too.
Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. I loathed myself. If you guys could even know or even imagine, like, I literally hated myself for so many years. And when I started doing the self-development, you know, I went through a group. Nicole! I went through a group where it's called Landmark Education. And I did a class, and we had to do mirror work. And I literally stood in the mirror. And I was saying the most horrible things about me. You know, things about myself where it was like, oh my God, how can somebody hate themselves that much? But when you are brought up in an environment that's not good, that's not healthy for you, that's what happens. But then when you start to discover that love, and you learn how to love yourself, you know, new love, you guys. I wasn't even expecting this to come out, but that everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
It's a miracle you guys just experienced yet again, you guys. I'm telling you. And a romance and power.
And you know
the
what?
The cards never lie.
Like you're saying, though, it's not just physical. It's emotional.
It's emotional.
And stuff like that, too.
Yeah.
So I feel like sharing my story, like, I am not ashamed to say talk about the things I went through, just like you're not. Because you know what? If you're going to be honest with somebody else is going to be honest with you. That's how you build relationships.
Right.
And that's amazing.
Absolutely. That's what I love. Thank you, Suzanne. She's like, she loves the story. It's amazing. Exactly. That's what makes, you know, somebody successful. That's why I take everything that I've gone through in my lifetime, and I use that as the fuel to help other people. And when you can show the passion, and you can, like, literally cut yourself and bleed out and show your raw self, people will know whether you're BSing or if you are being true and authentic with with yourself. And I always tend to go to people who are true and authentic, who
genuine.
Do not mind crying in front of somebody, who do not mind sharing themselves fully. It took a long time before I would ever cry in front of somebody. Oh my God, I used to be the worst angry beaver person on the planet. As much as you see me as happy and excited and full of energy, I used to be angry, nasty, horrible human being.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Just the turnaround is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just made the decision, put your foot down, and said, I'm not going to live that way anymore.
This is not going to be how my story ends up. And that's how it is. And so, you know, I've been estranged from my family now for, 26 years. I decided to cut ties. I decided to raise my son differently. I decided to stop repeating the cycles. And that's what I did. And so our lives are completely different. Like, my son never will know what it was like, because he's never experienced it. He experienced some crazy, trust me. He did not go unscathed. But even still, I was able to know my shortcomings and apologize for them. And then he would be like, so, Mom, how's your seminar going? Pretty good, it sounds like. You know, and it would be like, you know, that was his, I love you, I forgive you, you're awesome. You know, it's just, it really is. It's amazing. Yeah. And that's what I love about you. That's how I know you're just like that, because you have that as well. And I can see it. And just the way you share it and you let people see that for themselves as you saw it for yourself. That to me is just hands down extraordinary.
I'm going to cry.
I know, right? I love it. But that's too, I mean, that's what makes me an extraordinary coach. You know, is that I can see something in somebody, and all I have to do is take my little flashlight and shine it so you can discover it for yourself and see it.
I can't wait to see your flashlights.
I know. I can't wait. They're lime green. I can't
really?
wait. Yeah.
Do they have zebra print?
They don't have zebra print, but they are lime green.
You got to get little zebra print bags to put them in.
Oh my God, that would be a great idea. Lime green zebra bags. I've seen them too.
Really? I haven't seen them.
Oh yeah, I've seen them. Oh my gosh, you guys, we are now coming close to shorting out of time. We've only got a few more minutes.
What are you going to talk about?
It is 8:46. Okay, so what else? So tell me, like, what else have you experienced while you are living your passion, living your dream, and helping other people discover that for themselves as well?
What else? Independence. I've definitely gotten more independence. My marriage wasn't so great. I very much tried to play the role of your typical housewife, right?
Right.
So I made sure everything was okay with him before I did it. I always made sure everything was done. I actually started going to therapy at that point again, too.
Wow.
And we ended up calling it my 4:30 witching hour, because he would come home from work at 5:30. So at 4:30, from 4:30 to 5:30, I was a hot mess. Like cleaning, doing dinner had to be done. I needed it to be fine, because then there was not going to be an argument or problem.
Right.
Like everything was fine. And I'm not like that anymore. I feel kind of bad for my fiance at this point, because I am so like, you know, I can do it myself. I got this, you know, but it's so much better though. Like for me and for my kids, like it's so much better feeling like I can do anything.
Right.
Like when you're confident, you can do anything. Like you have an idea, just go and do it.
It's so
there is
true.
Nothing stopping you.
So here's the thing. So here's a good question. So even though you have a passion, right, and you really want to do something, but people do get stopped. I've gotten stopped.
People will stop you. Things will stop you.
So how do you keep going no matter what anyway? What is your magic go-to where you're just like, this is not how my story's going to go. This is how my story's going to go. And then you literally pull up that muster from somewhere.
I remember where I was when I started. I always go back to my why. And my why changes on a regular basis because life changes, right?
Right.
So when I first started, my why was myself. Now my why includes my children. My why includes freedom. My daughter, like I told you, is on the spectrum. So having a regular 9-to-5 job was, ever since she's been born, it's been really difficult for us to do.
Sure.
And once my husband left, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 5 years at that point, I got faced with going back to work. I went to orientation, came home, I was ready to go to my first day. I'm dressed and ready to get to my car, and my daughter has this meltdown. And I was like, okay, a typical job is not going to work for me. Like, this is not.
Right.
So knowing that I can work on my own time for myself has been a huge blessing for my family. I mean, and now my son has a speech delay, so he was part of the program here in McHenry, which was awesome. But it was only part-time, half day.
Right.
And I didn't have to worry about that. So my fiance and I went and had a baby. I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm home. I can juggle my schedule however I want to, and that's what keeps me going. Like, the fact that I can be there and still do the mom fun stuff,
right,
but still be able to earn an income to help them, still be able to, like, make myself feel good, because who goes to a job and then just feels blah because you're doing the same thing over and over again?
Oh, my gosh, for sure.
I mean, so working for myself, like, all the way around, my career has been amazing for my family, for myself. Like,
wow.
So that's what I have to keep going back to. Like, I get stopped. Business isn't good all the time. I don't meet all my goals. I set my goals, but I don't always meet them. When I don't meet them, I just, you know what? Try again. It's that simple. Because if I give up, I'm not a quitter. If I quit on myself. I quit on my kids. I quit on my independence. Like,
true. And that's so true, too. That's one of the things, I mean, even for this show, like, when at the stream it went from talk radio to just music, and I lost my spot, I picked it up with YouTube, and then WGOG started, and then that shifted and changed. And so I picked it up right away with Blog Talk Radio, because I was like, I cannot let go of this. I mean, it's not easy being perfect, you know, and having all this talent come out all the time. It's a lot of pressure.
You gotta put it out there.
You got to put it out there, and you've got to keep going. And that's the biggest thing, because every time I have a show, somebody is getting something that they need, and it's some sort of inspiration. It's something where I can't let it go, because God forbid somebody's looking for some sort of something where it's going to answer everything for them.
Right.
And then it's disappeared. It's gone. I can't do it. Because I have so many talented people on the show, and of course myself, and we have all these perspectives. It's like somebody's got to see something for themselves and shift and change. And if it's just one person, you know, just one person I've made a huge difference for, then it's like everything for me.
Could you imagine if you didn't go to the Scramble, not being a member of the chamber?
We would have never met.
We would have never, ever met.
No.
How crazy. And I mean, I know that I've taken stuff that you've said and I've ran with it since the coffee, so
it's amazing.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and everybody meets. Everything for me is all divine timing. It's all divine planning. It's all divine timing. People don't realize that we plan our whole entire life before we get here, and then we go through the birthing process to forget it all so that we live out our life a particular way. And it's amazing. So even still now as an adult, now that I know more, and I'm working on myself, it's like everything I've gone through, I chose it because there's so much, it's bigger. There's a bigger picture. And so even though people go through terrible times in their life, even, you know, death of a child, you know, death of a spouse, whatever was going on, tragedies, horrible things have happened to them. But when you come out of it, and in hindsight, after, you know, you've healed for it and you can let go of that part of it, you realize how much stronger you are and how much of value you are because you're helping so many other people.
But the point is you have to come out of it.
You have to come out of it. Otherwise,
stick in it.
You know, and that's the thing. That has a lot to do, like, with suicide. I always think that, you know, there's such a crazy, you know, people still think, you know, negative things about suicide. They don't really understand the perspective. And I feel like that when somebody actually dies by suicide and they're, I guess you would say, successful in it because they're gone, I feel like they have gotten to the end of their rope and God finally says, or whatever that is for you, come back home. Let's regroup, refigure it out, and then you can go back out and try again. Where the people who try it and, thank God, are not successful,
Their story's not over.
Their story's not over.
The semicolon.
That's exactly right.
And
the story's not over. Yeah.
That's huge.
And that's the biggest thing. And that's where, we have to stop judging every single thing and realize that we're all in it. We all are dealing with the same exact stuff, except the details are different. The details are specific to each person going through it. But if you think about it, all the different scenarios, it's all the same stuff. We're all trying to do the same exact thing, and we don't know. We all feel like we're by ourselves in this big giant world trying to make it through.
That's very true.
And when you have a group of people who are like, wait a minute, what if we all gathered together
and learned from each other
and helped each other
up, like,
yes, and grow.
Mind blown.
Yes, exactly. And then again, like you said, you are not looking for clients, you're looking for forever relationships. That to me is, I love that, forever relationships. I love it. A forever friend. I think that's amazing.
That's my thing.
I love it. That is like magical.
I figure the more people I know, the more people I talk to, the happier I am.
Yeah. That's how I am too. It's like, I could have my worst of days and I can go somewhere. So like, for instance, today I was coming from the doctor. So I had my first therapy today. It was very exhausting. Like, I was actually falling asleep during it.
Right.
Because it was so much stimulation. My eyes were like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. And so finally the doctor came in and he's like, how are you doing? I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling asleep. He's like, okay, we're done. So it was like 35 minutes. But I struggled for the last 10, 15 minutes of it. So when I was on my way home, because it's an hour and a half away where I go, I stopped for gas because I saw there's a new gas station. It was $2.05 for my gas.
Wow.
I was like, what? Pull over. And, of course, they've got the new card readers and all of that. And my brain was not able to figure it out. But the attendant was out there. He's like, what can I do for you, girlie? And I was like, nothing. He's like, you got it okay? I'm like, yeah. And so he saw me like sigh or do whatever. He's like, let me help you. And it was just so nice. And he was an attendant. And I saw somebody had dropped or threw their cheeseburger on the area next to the garbage, but didn't pick it up and put it in the garbage.
It's right there.
The guy was busy doing his thing. He had to go back inside after he got done helping me and being so sweet. I literally took like, because they usually have those advertisements and the little folder thingies, those plastic things. I just folded it up, scooped it, throw it in the garbage for him. And I was like able to drive the rest of the way home. Like, I felt good. Just because somebody said something nice to me to help me and I was able to reciprocate it and just go ahead and move on. And it was absolutely amazing. Yeah. Oh my God, for sure.
I love those.
I love stuff like that. It's amazing to me. Or somebody will be, I'll be in the store and somebody looks crabby or the kids are screaming and crying. And I'm that person where when kids are screaming and crying, it's like, oh my God, those kids, because it just echoes in the store. And I'll come across the child and I'll be like, why are you crying? And they'll look at me like,
why are you talking to me?
Exactly. I'm like, you shouldn't be crying. And then they'll just get a little cute little smile on their face because they can, because I'm like goofy with that way.
Yeah.
And it really is. It's amazing how different, things can be.
On Mother's Day, my kids and I were supposed to go to my mom's house, obviously. But instead, we were supposed to be there earlier, but we went to Jewel. We picked up a couple bouquets of flowers, and we cut them into singles. We went to a bunch of different places and just handed them out. My 5-year-old likes to wear a bow tie and suspenders.
Oh,
and I got
my
him
gosh.
these poop emoji ones at Five Below.
Yes.
So cute. So he walks in with his little flower, and we're looking for moms, and he goes his little suspenders and hands these flowers, and oh my gosh, the women were just going crazy.
Oh my gosh.
They were just freaking out how sweet it was. Like,
yes.
People don't do that.
No.
You don't see that anymore.
Not at all.
Sad.
Not at all. Oh my gosh, you guys, we've only got like 1 minute left, if you can believe it.
Yikes.
And so if you are on Blog Talk Radio, you're probably hearing the music going right now. But I just want to say thank you so much, Niki, for being here. You guys, go to www.justritarealtalk.com. You know, click on Niki's picture. Go ahead and tell them where you're at, your website.
It's www.maryk.com/N Witczak. WITCZAK.
Yes. So her picture will be up there for the rest of the weekend. So make sure you click on it.
It's easier to do it
check
that way.
her out. Exactly. But it has been so much fun. Thank you so much, Cindy, for moderating for me and being a part of the show. Everybody who tuned in, who was listening. Oh my gosh, you guys, we're running out of time. I love it. Thank you so much. We will be back next Thursday, and then I'll have other shows going on as well. We got to make it work. So get a hold of me to be on the show. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. So we're still on Facebook Live. Let me close that.
I love it.
Yes, I love it too. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, my Facebookers. You are all absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on there. Pooh, I know you just joined in, but I want to say thank you for popping in. And oh my gosh, it's been so much fun. So you guys can check out. I'm going to, as soon as it does its thing, I will upload it. I will share. You'll get the link, and then you'll be able to get it as well. So thank you. Bye, you guys. Thank you.